Hi everyone, and welcome to tonight's webinar. So tonight we are going through the new Club Soda guide. We've sort of mentioned this before, a few things here and there, but we thought it would be good to show people exactly how it works, how you can use it, and some of the sort of tricks on using it. So first of all, the Club Soda guide, it's got a bit of a history already. So for those of you who haven't been around for that long, when we started Club Soda 4 or 5 years ago, we sort of realized that people still want to go out to pubs and bars and restaurants, but there's never anything nice to drink in them. And we felt that frustration as well. But then we also knew that there are some really lovely alcohol-free drinks in the world, and some pubs and bars and restaurants do serve them, but they're just really hard to find. So what we wanted to do is to put together a website where people could go and find the best pubs and bars and restaurants and hotels in the UK. And we spent a fair bit of time sort of talking to pubs and bars and trying to understand what the problems are and why they are so bad at serving low and no alcohol drinks. And about 2 years ago, we launched our very first Club Soda guide. It was a very, very cheaply built website, and it was sort of a prototype that we used for a little bit and saw how it works. And I think we had in the end about 250 pubs, bars, restaurants in there. They were mainly in London because that's where we started, in the sort of East London as well, Hackney, City of London. But we did have a few venues around the country. And last year, we finally got a bit of money to rebuild the website completely. So the City of London has been very supportive of Club Soda throughout the years, and they gave us a little bit of money to basically rebuild the website completely from scratch and do a nicer one. And we've also had a bit of funding from Heineken 00. They've also sponsored some of our festivals. So they've also been very supportive of us over the years. And finally, we had a little bit of money from the Brewers Research and Education Fund to talk about alcohol-free beers in particular. So thanks to all of the three founders or funders of Club Soda Guide. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to take you through the Club Soda Guide to see what's in there, how it works, and what you can do to take part in the project. And and what it is in a nutshell is that it lists the best low and no alcohol drinks and where to find them. So first of all, this is not a mobile app, but you can easily use it on your mobile. It actually, sometimes it looks better on a mobile than a laptop. And as you can see from the slogan, it's a listing site both of drinks and pubs, bars, restaurants, and hotels and other places that serve drinks. So what you can drink and where you can drink them. And over time, we'll also add things like shops where you can buy these drinks. So it's going to be a little bit wider than just sort of licensed restaurants and pubs and bars. And we also talk about low alcohol drinks. So it's not just alcohol-free drinks. And what we mean by low alcohol is a good question, but we've sort of thought that anything under 3% in terms of beers and ciders is lower alcohol, and then sort of 8% and under for wines is lower alcohol. But you can easily leave out the low alcohol ones if you want to see alcohol-free drinks only. So that's all very easy to do here. And we don't list every single drink in the world, but we have tried to find all the sort of drinks that people might be interested in finding in pubs and bars. And you can also nominate venues. So we'll talk about that in a minute. But if we first of all start with let's see if I can find myself now. Right. So this is the front page, as you can see. And first of all, I'm going to show you, just in case you happen to manage or own a pub, bar, or another venue, and you want to get listed on the guide, you can just click on the list a venue button at the top of the screen here. And you just answer a few very simple questions like give us your email address, some basic information about the venue, what's the name of it, where it is, so address, city, postcode, and a phone number if you want to, and what kind of a venue is it. Is it a restaurant, pub, bar, cafe, or a hotel? And if you click save, once you've filled all of these details in, it creates a listing on the guide. And then on the next screen, you can add a bit more detail. You can add a profile picture, your social media handles, and list all the non-alcoholic drinks you serve. So this page is only for people who actually own or manage a venue. So if you are a Club Soda member and you just want to nominate a venue, you found a good pub in your neighborhood or you know of a great restaurant, there's another way of letting us know about them, and we'll come to the nominations in a minute. So if you want to create a listing for your venue, just click on list a venue and add in the details. And if we then take a look at the front page, so we've got a search bar here, which we'll come back to that in a minute. But if we scroll down, we can explore all the drinks. So we've divided the drinks into different types. So we have beers, we've got wines, we've got spirits and premixed drinks, we've got soft drinks, tonics and mixers, and ciders. And just underneath the drinks options, we've got a few examples of the drinks you can find on the guide. So we've got Heineken beer, we've got Altmühl cider, we've got St. Peter's beer, and we've got Shrub, apple cinnamon. And clicking on these little arrows, it shows you more. So we've got an Adnams wine there, and mocktail, and Dalston elderflower kiss, and so forth. So you can scroll through a few things to see what's on the guide. And if you click on any of these drinks, you can either click on the more details or actually anywhere on the drink card. It shows you a bit more information about what it is. So this one is a Heineken 00 beer. So in the box here, we've got the alcohol content. So this is 0.05% ABV. That's an alcohol-free beer. And on the other side of the card, it says, oh, it's a lager type of beer as well. So for most of the drinks, we have a bit more information here. A balanced thirst quencher with refreshing fruity notes and a soft malty body. And we can close that. And we have the same thing for all of these things. So you can click on a bit more information. So this is a berries and cherries fruit cider. And Shrub is a soft drink and a shrub. And it's got no alcohol. And it tells you what it's made of: apples, cinnamon, nutmeg, lavender, and apple cider vinegar. So you can see the drinks there. And there's a button here to click and view all of the drinks. But we'll come to those in a minute. And as we scroll further down, we've got great places for mindful drinkers. So this is just showing a few of the really great venues we've found around the world, well, around the UK. So we've got the old Ale and Coffee House in Salisbury. We've got a Cozy Club in Leeds, the Felin Fach Griffin in Brecon in Wales, and Charlotte's W5 in Ealing, West London. And if we scroll a bit further down, we've got the nominate a venue option here. If you know the best pub for low and no alcohol beers or found a great bar with alcohol-free cocktails, let us know and we will get them listed on the guide. So we'll come back to the nominations in a little bit as well. And scrolling down a bit more still, we've got a sign up for the Club Soda newsletter, the email, weekly emails, and the Join Club Soda website link here. So for those people who don't know what Club Soda is, they can find out a bit more about Club Soda there. And if we then scroll back to the top of the page, and let's see, we come here and we're interested in finding out about drinks. So let's see. I really want to find a beer. So I click on the beers button, and it now comes up with a listing of all the beers on the guide. So starting from Nirvana Tantra, we probably have 100 or so beers here. But let's say I'm really interested in a porter, so I can click on the drink type button here, and the beer is already selected because I'm looking for beers. And clicking on that little arrow there opens up another menu which has different types of beers. So we could look for an amber ale or an IPA or a lager or whatever. But I'm looking for a stout or a porter, so I click on the stouts and porters button. And there we go. So now we've got a listing of all the dark beers. So we've got Nirvana Cosmic, we've got Cheers, Super Bock, Brax, Porter, and the Big Drop Stout. So we've got a few of those. And if we take that off, we can then go back to the listing of all the drinks. So all the different drink types are here. So we've got beer, cider, soft drinks, spirits, tonics, and wines. And for all of them, there's subcategories. So we could look for a red wine and see what comes up. Okay, there's quite a few. And the same for all of these. So spirits and premix, there's botanicals, cordials, mixers, mocktails, spirits, and so forth. And the other way of searching for things is the alcohol content. So depending on what you're looking for, you can try to find things that are under 0.05%. So really no alcohol at all, or 0.05 to 0.5%. So these are still drinks that we consider alcohol-free in Club Soda, but some people don't want to drink them, so you can select on different levels of alcohol you want to have. And 0.5 to 1%, and 1 to 3%, and over 3%. And the way this works is, let's look at the beers again. So we've got all the beers, and I'm looking for something that is between 0.5% and 1% ABV. Let's see if anything comes up. Oh, there's a few things. So there's Adnams Solstar at 0.9%, and a small beer dark lager at 1%, and the Bavaria lager at 0.9%. And you can do the same for any of these things. You can find exactly the level of alcohol content you want. And if you know exactly what you're looking for, you can also type in the search bar. Let's see, we're looking for a Cedars alternative gin. So typing in Cedars, we get all of the 3 Cedars flavors here. So we've got wild, crisp, and classic. And you can really use the search bar to find for most things. So you could actually even search for a lager, and it should bring up all of the lagers and probably quite a few other things as well, because it searches in the whole text. So for example, the Infinite Session Pils comes up because in the description it talks about the lager there, although it's not actually a lager. So you may have to scroll through some of these. And if we look at the Heineken again, so we've got Heineken here. And if we click on the Heineken name there on the blue background, this takes us to the Heineken homepage. So this has a little bit of more information about Heineken. So Heineken is one of the UK's leading pub, cider and beer companies. And we've got links to their website, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And we've got a bit more information about Heineken 0.0, 69 calories in a bottle. And we've got a listing of all the Heineken drinks. Well, Heineken's a bad example because there's only one Heineken 0.0. And then we get a listing of all the pubs and bars that serve Heineken 0.0. So there's quite a few of these, but we can just scroll through some of them. And after the pubs and bars, we come to where to buy Heineken. So we've got a listing of all the supermarkets where you can buy Heineken 0.0, which is actually most of them. And if they're available on Wise Bartender and Dry Drinker, we'll also have links for those and a reminder of the Club Soda discount code. So you can get 5% off if you order from Wise Bartender. And some of these drinks you can also get from Amazon. So we have a link to Amazon as well. And at the bottom of the page, there's related products, which I think just randomly pulls for other beers. So that's the drinks. I'm just checking if there's any questions or comments, but can't see anything. Feel free to just type in your questions if you have anything. So I should have mentioned that the way we get drinks up on the guide is we basically listed them all ourselves, and so far we've got 750 of them there, which has taken us quite a while to gather the information together. And there's still some missing, which we do know that there are some gaps still in the database. But if you spot something that isn't here and you think should be here, just message us or email us in any way you can, and we'll put them up. There's contact details link at the bottom of the page. So you've got my email address there, or you can find us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram as well. So that's the drinks. And if we then look at the venues instead, so we can go to the venues listing by clicking on the venues button there at the top. So this is a listing of all of the venues on the guide, and at the moment there are just under 2,000 of them there, and they've come through in different ways. Some of them are from the very original Club Soda guide, the 250 venues we signed up to the first guide. Some of them have signed up themselves, so they've heard about the guide and they've just listed their venue. Some of them we've spoken to the head office, like the lounges, bars. They sent the details of all of their venues and we uploaded them all into the guide in one go. And some of them we found the information online and we've listed them because we've thought that they were good venues to list. And similarly to the drinks, you can search for the venues using different information. So let's see that we've heard about the great Redemption bar in London. So let's type in Redemption. And we can find all three of the Redemption bars. So there's the Shoreditch one, Notting Hill one, and the new Covent Garden one. So what you have for each of these venues is you have a little profile picture, the name of the venue, where it is. These ones are all in London. We've got the postcode, and then what type of a venue are they? So these are all bars and restaurants. And then you've got these 5 little Club Soda cups here. And these are the Club Soda score, which basically tells you very quickly whether they are a good place for mindful drinkers or not. So almost all of the venues on the guide have a Club Soda score, and it goes from 0 to 5 stars, 0 being not very good, or they haven't given us the information, and 5 means that they are a very, very good venue. So if we click on the first one here, Redemption Bar, Covent Garden, so we get to the venue profile page. So the venues have a profile picture, most of them. Again, it says what kind of a venue it is. This is a bar and a restaurant, and it's a 5-star venue. And we've got a map here, so you can find it easily enough. And we've got the full address here, 15 Shorts Gardens, London, WC2, etc. For most venues, we have a phone number. We've got the website address and their social media handles, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And here we've got a description of the venue. So this is the newest Redemption bar, opened in December 2018. And as we scroll down, we then get to the drinks at this particular bar. So first of all, we can see that they have 8 alcohol-free cocktails on the menu, and they have a really great range of alcohol-free drinks. So they've got Sea Arch, they've got Nirvana beers, they've got Bee's Knees wine, they've got Fit beer, Seedlip, and Barago. Actually, they've got probably a few more things as well that we should add to their listings because they're such a new venue. We haven't even had time to add all of their details. So there's many ways of searching for the venue. So if you know the name, you can type in the name. If you're looking for something in a particular location, you can say, I'm in Leeds and I want to find a nice place, so I could search for Leeds. And I get all the Leeds venues here. So we've got an all bar, we've got 2 all bar ones, we've got a Browns, we've got Bunderbust. It's a great sort of, I think they call themselves a Yorkshire Indian restaurant. Great food and great drinks as well. And we've got quite a few more venues as well. Leeds is pretty good. And if you're even more precise, if you know Leeds and you say, oh, I'm going to be in Headingley tonight, and I know the postcode is going to be LS6. Right, we've got just the one venue in LS6 postcode, which is the Hyde Park pub on the corner of Hyde Park. And their range, they've got some soft drinks and Erdinger alcohol-free beer. So not a massively great venue, but there's something there. So they get 3 stars on the guide. And if we get rid of the postcode, we can also search for different venue types. So if you're looking for a bar, cafe, hotel, pub, or restaurant, you can select them here. So let's see how many hotels we have. Not too many. There's a few around the place. And you can also search by Club Soda score. So let's see if we can find a 5-star hotel anywhere. Oh, we've got 2. So there we go. They're actually both also pubs and restaurants. So there's quite a few ways of searching for venues. And there is also a free search option. So if you're not quite sure, you just remember something about the venue, you can type it in and it might come up, or it might not. And probably a few words about the Club Soda score. So as I said, they go from 0 to 5, and it's really based on the range of drinks they have in the venue. So all of the venues, they get points for having low and no alcohol beers and wines and ciders. And they also get points for alcohol-free spirits like Seedlip and Cedars. And they get a few points for having a good range of soft drinks as well, and for alcohol-free cocktails. And the cocktails actually have to be something that they have listed on their menu. You can't just say that, oh, I can make 60 alcohol-free cocktails, because that's just nonsense. You need to tell your customers what you have. And there's one more way of searching for a venue. If we go back to the home page, there's this is the search bar, which is the first thing you can see, and you can actually use this to search for both drinks and venues. So if again, let's see if we Leeds, which is my old hometown, so I'm partial to Leeds. Let's search for Leeds, see what comes up. So Leeds found one drink, which is the Leeds Brewery's OPA beer, and 11 venues. It's showing the first 4 here, and if you click on the see all, it's showing me all the venues in Leeds from the guide, all 11 of them. And you can use this to search by postcode or the drink name or the type of drink or anything you could think of. And finally, the really clever bit here is the use my location. So if you click on that part of the search bar, it's asking for, would you give me access to use your location. So if you click allow, it knows where you are and it's showing you the nearest good venues. So I'm currently in East London, so there aren't that many brilliant venues around here, but there is the Alfred Leroy Canal Boat, which is a floating bar, which is in Hackney Wick, which is not a bad place at all. It gets 4 stars on the venue, on the guide, and this is one of the 250 venues from our original guide. So we don't know exactly what they serve at the venue, but we have rated them as 4 stars based on what we know about them. So yeah, have a little play around with the search bar and see what you can find. And then I said we'd talk a little bit about the nominations. So what we're hoping to do is that we will, over time, we'll list all of the best UK pubs and bars and hotels and restaurants here. And we're hoping that this will be like a crowdsourced thing. So we're hoping that all of our Club Soda members across the UK, when they come across a great venue or they know of a good pub wherever they are, if you first check that your venue isn't already listed, but you think it should be listed, you can come down here and click on the nominate a venue button, and it'll take you to this this form. Nominate a pub, bar, restaurant, hotel, or other venue to the Club Soda guide. And there's also, you can download or print our nomination guide. So if you click on that, help us find the best places for mindful drinkers. And this has a little bit of information about how you can go on a little hunt for the best guides. So you could do a pub crawl wherever you are and rate the venues you come across. Are they great places for mindful drinkers? And it tells you how you can then let us know about them. So you can either do it on social media, or you can come to the Club Soda guide and click on the nominate button and just fill in this form. So I'll just show you how it works. So you click on the nominate here, and we just need to know a few details about the venue. So the name of the place and what's the address where it is, so we know, because there are many pubs called the Red Lion in the UK. And the more details you can share, the better it is. And you can also tell us why it is a great place for mindful drinkers. So you may have a good range of alcohol-free beers, or they can do amazing alcohol-free cocktails or whatever that might be. And that's all the information we need. So you can leave it there, just continue, or you can also leave your details if you want to be on the prize draw. We'll have a prize draw at some point. We'll send out drink samples and other Club Soda goodies to five lucky winners. And you can also join the Club Soda Mindful Drinkers email list. And if you're willing to be interviewed by either Club Soda or by a journalist, you can also say yes or no here. And this is just for something because we'd like to, in some of the places around the country, we'd like to do little news stories. So let's say the first 5-star venue from Leicester signs up. It'd be great if we had a local Club Soda member who could say that, yes, I nominated this venue and I think it's a great place for mindful drinkers because X, Y, and Z. But this is all optional, so we're not expecting people to necessarily talk to journalists, but if you're up for it, that'd be good to know. And you can just then, if you want to be involved in any of these things, the prize draw and the email list, you can just leave your name, email address, or phone number. And if you have any other comments or feedback about the guide, you can type it in here as well, and then just click on OK, and that'll send me an email notification. And then what we do with this information is we'll contact the venues and say, one of our Club Soda members has nominated you to be on the guide. Would you like to join? It's free for the venues to join, and we can even help them with the with the listing if they're not confident with that. So that's the nomination thing. And you can also let us know on the usual places, email, on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram. And someone's just commented there saying they found 6 venues in Milton Keynes. Good, we'll have to get the details of those, get them listed on the guide. And then just a couple of final things. So at the bottom of the page and also at the very top, if we scroll back to the top of the website, there's the FAQ link. So here's some of the frequently asked questions we have, explaining what the Club Soda Guide is and some info for the owners and managers of pubs and bars, because they might have questions. Why should I get listed here, and what's the benefit for me? Is there any catches? And also something for the drinks producers. How can you get your drinks listed on the guide and so forth? And something about what is alcohol-free and what is low alcohol. And also, if you go to a venue that is recommended on the guide and is not at all what it promises to be, so then please just let us know and we'll investigate. Because we did come across a couple of venues in our very first Club Soda Guide where they said they had this and that on the menu, and when we visited them, they actually didn't have any of those drinks. So either they had run out of everything, or they had been a bit naughty and told a lie. So that's the Club Soda Guide walkthrough. The sort of technical development is still not quite finished, so there's still a few things coming, additional features in the next couple of weeks. And it is a work in progress. So as we learn more about how it works, we'll hopefully keep developing it, and we'll definitely add more information on the drinks. Because if you go through the drinks, you'll see that there's quite a lot of information still missing, which we're slowly adding to the guide website. And I think I said in the beginning that this is not a mobile app, it's just a website, but it works really well on mobile, and it probably looks better. Some of the features look better on the mobile. So do try it on your mobile as well. And yeah, let us know if you come across any bugs or any suggestions for making things work better. Happy to hear them. And yeah, I think that's it. So in a nutshell, it is the best low and no alcohol drinks and where to find them. So do go ahead and find the drinks and find the venues, and do keep nominating new venues for us, because we do want this to be a crowdsourced thing for all of the Club Soda members and anyone else interested in these things. And it's sort of probably been clear from here, but this is UK only for the time being, only because our drinks database covers the UK only. And the way the website works, it's using postcodes as the location. So we would like to expand this to other places in the world as well, but for that we'd have to rebuild the whole thing again. So it'll probably be a while before we can expand to other places, but hopefully one day in the future we can. There's just a couple of questions on the webinar, so let's see. If you search for a drink and find it, does it show a link which displays venues in your database that drink is served? Yes, very good question. So if we go to the Heineken, for example, so when we get to the page for Heineken, it does indeed list all of the pubs and bars that say that they serve Heineken. And if you scroll to the end of this list, you can also find the nearest ones to you. Oh, I don't think that worked all right. I think that must be a bug there. But yeah, yes, it does. And we've got a couple of recommendations. So the 6 on Milton Keynes are already on the guide. Okay, good. Need to find some others. Bar Zero in Middlesbrough. Okay, we'll have to investigate that one. If you find a drink you are looking for, is there a link from that page to venues in your database? Yeah, yes, there is. That's the same question, sorry. So yeah, if you do have any other questions, you can continue the discussion on Facebook Live, and then we'll try to answer them. And I think that was all of the questions. So thanks everyone, and